Imagine waking up tomorrow and the first thing you feel is cold. Not because your heat is off, but because you do not have a bed, you do not have a room, and nothing around you belongs to you. Imagine starting your day trying to figure out where you can wash up, what you're going to eat, and where you'll be safe for the next 24 hours. For thousands of people, this is not an imagination, this is their everyday life. My topic today is homelessness, and my purpose is to explain what causes it, what people experience while living through it, and why awareness and compassion matters. Homelessness is something I see constantly through my job as a public safety officer and in my studies in human services. I interact with people who are homeless daily. Some come into the hospital because they are cold, hungry, mentally overwhelmed, or simply have nowhere else to go. They are not people who just gave up. They are people who got caught in circumstances that any of us could face at any given moment. In this presentation, I will cover three things: the main causes of homelessness, the effects it has on individuals, and what communities can do to help. Homelessness is around us every single day. Sometimes we see it, sometimes we don't. But it is always there, and understanding it helps us respond with empathy rather than judgment. Some of the causes of homelessness. There's many reasons why people become homeless. Most of those reasons have nothing to do with laziness or bad choices. Homelessness often comes from a mix of economic struggles, mental health challenges, and lack of resources. Economic hardship. One of the major causes of economic hardship is rent keeps rising. I'm sure you guys are all experiencing what's happening with the government shutdown. It affects all of us in one way or another. We barely make enough to pay rent with one check. Many people live paycheck to paycheck, and it only takes one emergency, one job loss, a medical bill, a car breakdown to push someone into a crisis that they can't recover from. In those moments, having no savings and no support can quickly lead to someone to lose their home. And once you fall behind on rent, it is extremely hard to catch up. Another major factor is mental health. A lot of people who become homeless struggle with anxiety, depression, trauma, addiction, or other mental health conditions. These are real illnesses, and without proper treatment or support, it becomes almost impossible to maintain stability. This is something I see firsthand at work. People come in to the hospital, they're scared, overwhelmed, or confused because they've been battling their symptoms alone. They want help, but consistent treatment is expensive or it has long wait lists. Shelters help with basic needs, but many of them cannot provide long-term mental health care. Now that we understand how homelessness begins, it is important to understand what people go through once they're in those circumstances. Homelessness affects a person physically, mentally, emotionally, and socially. People experiencing homelessness face dangerous conditions daily. They deal with extreme temperatures, lack of hygiene, limited food sources, and they have nowhere safe to sleep most of the time. Their immune systems weaken and illnesses become more common. Even things like taking medications, staying clean, or getting sleep have become major challenges. When your body is constantly stressed, it becomes even harder for you to function. Unfortunately, the emotional impacts can be just as heavy. Many homeless individuals feel judged, ignored, or invisible. Society treats them like a problem instead of people. A lot of the time when I interact with these individuals and they're having a hard time, I remind them that they're human and we all go through things. Sometimes people just need a listening ear. Living with constant fear and uncertainty takes a toll. Imagine not knowing where you'll sleep tonight or whether your belongings will still be there when you get back. That level of stress follows a person everywhere. At work, I see how homelessness is connected with mental health. Many people come into the hospital not just for medical needs, but because it's the only place where they feel warm, safe, or understood. Sometimes they just need someone to talk to for a moment or feel like someone sees them. These experiences remind me every day that homelessness is not a choice, it is a crisis. Knowing these effects shows why communities must do more than just look away. People need real support to rebuild their lives and to get back on track. One of the biggest ways that communities can help is by supporting shelters and outreach programs. Donating clothes, hygiene products, blankets, food can make an enormous difference. Something small to us can be life-changing for someone else. Volunteering is another way to make an impact. Serving meals, organizing donations, or even offering skills like resume help can help someone take the next step in their journey. Communities can also help by advocating for affordable housing and more mental health funding. Without these resources, homelessness becomes almost impossible to overcome. Long-term solutions like job training programs, therapy, and transitional housing give people stability and hope. When we invest in people, communities become stronger, safer, and healthier for everyone. In closing, I would like to bring everything together. Today, I talked about homelessness and the effects it has on people and the ways our community can help. My purpose was to inform you about the reality of homelessness and why awareness and compassion matter. So I encourage you to think of one thing you can do to help out. Whether it's donating, volunteering, or advocating for better services. You could be simply showing kindness. One small moment of compassion can show someone that they matter and remind them that they're human. No one chooses homelessness, but every single one of us can choose compassion. We can choose to care, to help, and to see people for who they are. Not just their situation. Who are we to judge? Kindness might not fix everything, but it can most certainly change how someone feels in their darkest moment of their life. And sometimes that's where real change begins. So give it a shot. Be kind. It's the least you could do.